welcome once again to my channel, Reflections. Now we will discover how we can be aware of our spiritual sense of smell. As I have already said in other videos, our body senses are essential to know the reality that surrounds us. In the same way, we have twin senses of these body senses, but in a spiritual level. This is why we call them spiritual senses. Now I want to talk about the spiritual sense of smell. As the sense of smell in our body that is related to the sense of taste, it works likewise in the spiritual sense. Definitely, in order to know the flavor of what we eat and drink, we need the sense of smell. Who hasn't happened that when you have a cold or a stuffy nose, you don't feel the taste of things? Well, in the same way, when we perceive the perfume of God and notice in His presence, we will begin to smell or feel those divine things. What do I mean by this? I mean, in the intimate relationship with God, with a real person, through this sense, we are able to recognize Him, to feel His presence, and to see or witness His participation in our daily life. This spiritual sense is very sensitive, because if we do not have it well tuned, if we do not exercise ourselves in knowing the things of God, if we do not taste and smell those things of His love, which are manifested through charity, through sacrificing ourselves for others, through serving others generously, etc., we'll have it wasted like a muscle when you don't use it. And it will be more difficult to perceive those divine things that come from God. When we clean our spiritual nose, for instance, when we work to reject envy, gossip, and bad thoughts against others, and many other things, as far as possible, we'll start noticing those spiritual smells that have a special echo and impact within us. Some fathers of the church, and later San Buenaventura, pointed out how the spiritual smell, in addition to being intimately related to taste, contributes a lot in the spiritual affection. And I believe that this is real, definitely, when you have a relationship with God so intimate. Because when we have the experience of this, it confirms this intimate relationship with Him. For instance, when a couple recognize the smells between them, as well as the smells of their children, for instance, or when we can identify the smell of our friends or close people, works likewise when you have a personal relationship with Jesus, and then you can perceive His perfume when He is closer. Origen of Alexandria will say, "Whoever has a pure sense of smell, and through understanding of the divine word, can run after the fragrance of His ointment." That person has a nose which is sensitive to spiritual fragrance, and thus able to find out what seems to be of value in pagan teaching. So we could say that this relationship with Jesus can be perceived through various senses. So the spiritual sense of smell reveals to us a very intimate and affectionate dimension with Him, which help us to be capable to perceive His tenderness and His merciful and consoling presence as well. Also, we notice those things that takes us away from the relationship with Him. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reflection about the spiritual smell. May God bless you very much, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.